Good morning, all my garden friends. This is life in Canada on the 5th of July. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and let's take a closer look and see what's growing on. Yeah, so today in Canada, my cherry tree's coming. I've been eating cherries off it. I got the hose out, just adding a little bit of water to the pond system. Even though it rained off and on for the last couple days, it was just enough rain to keep the flowers moist and green. But I like to add just a tiny bit of fresh water every couple days and just dribble it in there. This is like a 5-foot deep pond. And it flows, of course, it's all one pond. It goes to that pond, that pond, that pond. So it goes to 3 other ponds. So it holds a lot of water volume. The water's about barely 60 degrees right now, so I should maybe just give them a little bit because they're hungry. There's my, oh, that white one bites hard. The orange and the white one, of course, are the oldest ones, and they've been out here since, oh, the early, very early 1990s. This white one and that orange one. I got them from a pet store that's no longer in business back then. They were like less than an inch. Oh, and this yerba manza is going to do beautifully there. It's going to flower. And I stole land from my hubby. I moved this seating area back. Another set of bricks. So I have more room for the love bug here. Baby. Yes. She's just the cutest little thing. And that's the sumpkin. Not sure if it's a pumpkin or a sumpkin. We'll soon find out. So I'm just having my morning coffee. Take a look around here. This is a beautiful color. I just love this little tiny I think it's a smaller petunia of some sort. And I put it in that tall pot and it just looks fabulous there. And there's some of my succulents that were in the greenhouse. And the Polish clematis, the only clematis I've had that's successfully growing, it appears, you know, like it's doing well. Now these ponds are still in the shade, but they'll get sun here soon. In the afternoon there'll be sun coming in. There was sun this morning, but the sun has moved over the trees, so it's kind of hard to see a lot of the fish. So, and the yellow flag. Yeah, everything, now that the sun has moved, it's the ponds are just look like dark pools with, there's some colorful fish darting around. These fish are still on the scared side in the bottom pond. A couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago, somebody came and ate half the fish one day. So some of the biggest, fattest goldfish are just suddenly missing from this pond only. They didn't seem to affect the other ponds. The other ones are too deep, and the other one, well, the fish hide under that massive yellow flag. And the mimulus looks good in there. But I've got the strings up, extra strings, and I laid that trellis across the pond as another deterrent, you know, just to keep unwanted critters away from the pond. So, yeah, and it's not that visible, so let's take a look. The money tree is growing. And my favorite place to sit here in the gazebo. I was going to have a glass of wine last night. Oh, I was tired though. So I never did have any, so I'll have some later tonight because it's my day off. I was too tired to have a glass of wine after work. I wanted to have a glass of wine. I came out here and sat. I'm addicted to coffee. Let's take a look at the front pond. Oh yeah, I planted all these little red begonias. They were 75% off. 75% off. Let's see what's happening outside. See what I've done here. I've been working in the yard. I know I got my Canada Day stuff up for a few more days just because I love Canada Day. I love Canada because it's where I live. Look how nice. I planted that last year, and then I got this these cannas on sale for 75% off, and that red thing, whatever it is. And I put it in here because I used to have a goji berry bush, but that goji berry bush, it's a weed. It's like once you have it, it's hard to get rid of. Oh, I love these, are gonna bloom. Those are lilies. I've got some dill. And this tree is coming out. It's a tree farm down here. That's what happened. The trees all grew. And look at the morning light. It's so beautiful on the guppy pond. There's all the guppies. I'll try not to get in the light. There's guppies everywhere. They're in the stream. Look at that beautiful pink lily. Let me see. I'll show you the guppies in the stream. And that glass, that orb has a snail. A snail has crawled into the orb. That's super cool. And the guppies can come and go. I haven't had to clean that glass yet. It seems to be doing good. You know, like, it's such a beautiful little pond. And this creeping Jenny, I think it is, it really helps keep the weeds down. And I have like a couple steps here where I can walk. And we can go over here and see what's happening in the stream. There's lots of guppies in the stream. Like, I don't know, can you see them all? Oh, and now there's more guppies in the orb. Sometimes there's like 30, 40 guppies in that orb. And then suddenly there's nobody. Like, they can come and go at will. It's just so beautiful. I'm going to top up that little pond too. Like, where does the water go? Let's take a look over here. And yesterday, while I was cleaning in here, I found a $5 bill. A $5 bill, okay? Finders keepers. It was in my yard. Yeah, so that was nice, a $5 bill while I was grooming. Oh, this is going to bloom, the yucca. The yucca looked like it was, you know, like they have off years. And then, you know, they look like they're going to die, and then suddenly, boom, they're going to bloom. Some years the yuccas are just beautiful. And, oh yeah, this new tall grass here, it's kind of small. I just planted it. One of my garden friend ladies gave it to me, but it's going to get like, oh my God, 10 feet tall. 10, 15 feet tall. I don't know if maybe that's too close there, but I don't care. It can be really tall. It'll look fabulous. If it doesn't work out, I can move it, because it's not cemented in, it's just planted. You know, like if you plant things and they don't turn out. Yeah, like this perennial got out of control over here. And so I groomed it all out and weeded it all out of here. And I planted these little plants that were 75% off. The purple and the white begonias. This is the other vine. It's struggling, although I did weed it. It had another vine trying to choke it out, and I think it's going to come again, so we'll see. That's a clematis. Some years it does better. It's only like 3 or 4 years old and it's struggling. Okay, next time I'm just going to stick with Polish varieties, because apparently they're very hardy. So yeah, that rained, so I had the cushion up, but I can sit here and swing. Yeah, and you can see at night, you can see the orb from here in the guppy pond. Where's the orb? It's there somewhere. Look at how beautiful everything looks. Like, really, the camera doesn't do it justice. Everything's so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful today, and it's supposed to get really hot. Yeah, that glass I got from HomeSense for the guppy pond, it's just amazing. It's on a couple bricks, and it's just beautiful at night. It lights up. There's a light in there. And that's today street view. Yeah, that's the street view of my yard. I took over the boulevard. The flowers are popping out of everywhere. And those are the hills over yonder. That hill protects me from a lot of wind. The wind just goes in the treetops. That one big tree used to have a big limb over this way that fell on the neighbor's house. On the neighbor druggie house, they put up this fire line not to cross because the tree at the time was laying on the poor neighbor's house. And yeah, it was a big tree, but you know, like, they don't weed or take care, or they didn't water. This is an abandoned house. Now it was a druggie house. The lady had to pay to have the tree cut down. These guys didn't pay a cent, and it was all their responsibility. Look at those big pieces of wood, okay? Like, these people are rude. The guy that owns this house could have done more. Yeah, so yeah, he didn't pay a cent, not a cent to take those. She paid like hundreds of dollars to have that tree taken off her roof. And I don't know, he should have paid. But there was some reason, I don't know, like, he's a slumlord that owns that White House. Poor lady. Had to pay $100 to have his tree taken off her roof. He didn't do a thing. I don't know, maybe he'll settle up. I doubt it. It was his tree that fell on her roof and probably damaged her roof too. But because at the time she just bought the house and moved in, and she didn't have insurance, and if she doesn't have it, if both parties don't have insurance, then he got off the hook scot-free. But I think that's dirty. I think he should have offered at least to pay for the removal of the tree. Yeah. But he's, like I said, a slumlord, and he gets druggies to rent his properties because he's a slumlord. So I guess they're everywhere. I know. What can you do? Is this thing still recording? But yeah, I'm going to have my coffee. So the morning sun is out there. And in here, it's still shady. It was fully in the sun this morning. Then it moves away, and then it comes back in the afternoon. So it's a nice cool place. But the top pond always gets sun. It's always in the full sun. Well, thanks for coming with me on my little walk and my little talk. And I'll have to end this video soon. Probably won't upload, it's so long. Who knows if people even watch it to the end. And that's today in Canada.